Well, welcome back. This is your Riverside County Supervisor of the 5th District, Ixtian Gutierrez, with another episode of Thrive in District 5. But today, we have a special guest. We have Juan Garcia from the Housing Workforce Solutions. Thank you so much, Juan, for being here with us today. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Supervisor, for having me. I'm doing good. Thank you.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, can you tell us a little bit before we get into some of the programs that we have in the Housing Workforce Solutions? I know that we have a very special program that we're going to talk about, the home rehabilitation program that's for the 5th District residents. Can you just tell us a little brief overview of what HWS does?
Yeah, so our Department, Housing and Workforce Solutions, is made up of 4 different units. The Housing Authority of the County of Riverside,
Okay.
Community Action Partnership, Workforce Development Center, Continuum of Care, and my department that I oversee, Community and Housing Development. And we're responsible for funding that the county receives for housing, development of housing, providing emergency shelter to people that are homeless, and providing different job training programs that the residents can benefit from.
Nice, nice. And so you mentioned also housing projects, so like improvements, so you do improvements to homes?
Yes, so the county uses some of the federal funds that they receive to offer a rehabilitation program that's offered to all the residents living in the unincorporated county and 15 participating cities.
That's nice. So, and my understanding is there's another program called the Home Enhancement Program and then the Home Rehabilitation Program. Can you tell us a little bit about the differences between those two?
Yeah, so the Home Enhancement Program is funded with HUD CDBG funds.
Okay.
And that program is only available to residents in the unincorporated part of the county.
Okay.
And the cities that cooperate in our CDBG program. The home rehabilitation program is funded with ARPA funds, and that program is available to anybody living in the 5th District. And that program is available in the form of a grant, and anybody can apply as long as they live within the 5th District.
So to your point, you said grant. So does that mean they have to repay that, or they don't have to repay that?
No, so the assistance is in the form of a grant, so that means that the residents are not required to pay back that grant.
Awesome.
All they have to do is live in the home for a period of 5 years. If the resident decides to leave within the 5-year period, that money has to be repaid back, and those funds are used to help another family in need of the repair program.
Very nice, very nice. Can you tell us a little bit about when this program launched? And then also, Juan, the big question is, okay, if I'm a resident at home right now, how do I apply?
Yeah, so the program launched last month. And if you're interested in inquiring about the program, you can go to our website, RivCo.hws.org, or you can also call our number at 951-955-8126, and we can go over and add you to the waiting list. And once your name comes up on the waiting list, we'll be reaching out and getting the application process started.
Very nice. And then once they apply, I know the other question that we've been receiving from residents, what's next, right? So like, do they get an email confirmation? Does an inspector go to their house to see if what they're saying is accurate? If maybe there's other needs that they have? Like what, can you talk a little bit about that process?
Yeah, well, so when someone calls, we add them to the waiting list, and then when it's their turn on the waiting list, we reach out to the resident via phone call, via email, depending on the information that's provided when they first reach out. We meet with the individual. We help them complete the application. We do an eligibility. This program is income-based, so people can't make more than 65% of the area median income. So once we go through the eligibility, then we sit down with the homeowner. We do a walkthrough of the home and the repairs that are needed. Once that's completed, we're able to draft loan documents, we go out to bid, procure a contractor, and then work commences. And once the work is completed, we do a final walkthrough of the home, and if the homeowner is satisfied with all the repairs, then that's where the assistance stops, and then the homeowner is able to enjoy their home and
new improvements, right?
Improvements, absolutely.
That's awesome. And I believe we've had already a few cases already of some folks that we've been able to help. In particular, the Pruitt family, and I know she is very, very excited for the new improvements that she's going to be receiving for her home. So I just want to thank HWS and thank you for your leadership, Juan, and really championing and moving this forward as well. You're probably getting a lot of calls, right?
We absolutely are. We've gotten a lot of interest, and we look forward to helping as many people as we can through this program.
That's wonderful. Now, what about the cities within the 5th District? Does it cover the cities within the 5th District too?
It does cover all the cities within the 5th District, so anybody living within the 5th District, including city boundaries.
Now, my understanding is that the Home Enhancement Program helps folks with stick-built, frame-built homes, and they own the land. The Home Rehabilitation Program specifically also helps people that are in manufactured homes, but that are leasing the land. Is that correct, or can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, that's
The
correct.
differences in that?
Yeah, so the Home Enhancement Program funded with CDBG funds, the homeowner must own the home and the land. We record a lien on the title of the property. The Home Rehabilitation Program, the owner only has to own the actual mobile home. They can be leasing the space on which the unit sits on.
Very
And
nice, okay.
so those are two big differences, because we do have a lot of mobile homes that rent the space, and so we created this program to allow us to also assist those residents that don't necessarily own the land on which the mobile home sits on.
Absolutely, and I want to give recognition to Ms. Pruitt, because she was one of the folks that really reached out to my office to share that, hey, because I don't own the land, I'm not qualified to participate in these home improvements, and as a result, we rewrote the rules and provided more funding. So I want to give her a shout out for bringing that about as well, and your guys' office for being flexible for that. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you too, Supervisor, for allocating the ARPA funds that allow us to create that program, because the federal funds don't allow for that flexibility, and the ARPA funds do allow for that flexibility, so we were able to create that program to assist other residents as well.
That's great. That's great. Now, from the time been meaning to ask you this question, Juan. So by the time, and I'm sure some residents are also wondering too, from the time that they receive that approval, right? So let's say you give the call to the resident, and you say, hey, congratulations, you're going to receive these improvements. How long does that take from that phone conversation to when the improvements are completed?
Yeah, so on average, it takes about 4 months from beginning to end.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
although it seems like a long period, there's a lot of
It
work.
does seem like a long time.
There's a lot of work that goes in between, and
Okay.
that's on average on what it's taking. We do our best to expedite anything that's possible,
Okay.
but unfortunately, that's how long it takes.
Yeah.
For the work to be able to be completed.
They just
on
got to
some of these
hold
homes.
on for those 4 months, and then they'll get those improvements, right?
Yeah, weather permitting and other factors do come into play, but yeah, 4 months is about the average time.
Awesome. Can you talk about, Juan, we've been mentioning improvements a lot, right? My understanding is that it's not only exterior improvements, but it's also interior improvements. Can you tell me a little bit about some examples of both?
Yeah, absolutely. So the home rehabilitation program allows for exterior improvements like your roof,
Oh, wow.
your windows, ramps for accessibility.
Ramps? So for
absolutely.
ADA compliance?
ADA compliance,
Okay.
yes. Interior improvements include grab bars, maybe replacement of the tub to make it accessible for some of our senior residents. It also allows for plumbing fixtures. We deal sometimes with families that have maybe mold issues. Some of these older homes also have lead, so we can also do lead abatement.
What about electrical issues in some of the homes?
We can do electrical. The one thing I would like to add though is that there's a cap. There's a $50,000 cap. So we look at all the different repairs, and we sit down with the homeowner to see what's feasible within the $50,000 cap.
Got it. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, because even just a roof alone can be 20 grand, right? Or-
Yes, that's correct. Yes. Yeah.
And then windows can be very expensive as well. And these are the plain windows or the double pane windows?
So the windows that we do replace are double pane
Very
to
nice.
to allow for savings in utilities.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And I know we have other programs out there. So there's the Home Enhancement Program. There's the Brush for Kindness Program. What about any weatherization programs that we have out there in the county that also can help?
Yeah, so the Community Action Partnership that's within HWS
Okay.
has a weatherization program. So we try to partner with our colleagues whenever possible and assist homeowners, not with the home rehabilitation program and also with the weatherization program when it's feasible.
So this weatherization program, it's a mouthful, by the way, too. So this is part of the county as well, that this CAP program is part of HWS?
Yes, the weatherization program is a county operated program through CAP. And
how do people apply for that one?
You would go to the CAP's website.
Okay.
There's an
Okay.
application that you
We'll make sure we
complete.
put a link here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can also access it through RivCo HWS.org, and there's a link to CAP, and you can get more information on there to get on the waiting list for that program.
Very nice, very nice. Now, I'm assuming the folks, when they call, the people that are answering the phones, are they knowledgeable of these county programs? Do they know about, like, for example, you were saying the weatherization program. By the way, that's a mouthful, so do they know about this program?
Yeah, so when you call the number, any of our numbers, we're well-versed on the various programs, and we try to refer people to the various programs that they can apply for.
Very nice, very nice. And is the application, is it very lengthy? Do they have to show proof that they have these needs, or is it just like pictures?
So the application is income-based, so we do require taxes, income stubs, so bank statements and that sort of information so we can do the income eligibility. But as far as the application, it's only about 5 pages, so it's relatively short,
Okay.
but the backup documentation, sometimes it takes families a while to be able to collect. So-
Got it. And then you had mentioned earlier that there's some folks on a wait list. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to process them. We just have them on a wait list, that's my understanding, until we can get to them.
Yeah, so we do have close to 200 people on the wait list for the home rehabilitation program. And we currently probably won't be able to get to everybody, but we are actively applying for funding at the state and federal level. We did apply for $5 million to the state, HCD, and the county was awarded $5 million. We
Nice.
plan on receiving those funds any day now, and we're going to be running a similar program to the HRP program, and we'll be also pulling people off the current waiting list for the HRP program.
Great, great. And the reason I bring that up is because I don't want people to lose hope, right?
Right.
You know, I mean, you're on this wait list, but it just means that we need to get to you, and we're going to look at ways that, innovative ways, funding ways that we can get to that. And so I appreciate you, Juan, coming on the Thrive in District 5 podcast. And again, thank you, and thank you to HWS for their leadership and really spearheading this program, taking this on. I know it's a lot of work, and I really do appreciate that.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Juan. So want to just thank all of the residents. This is another show of Thrive in District 5. And again, we have Juan Garcia with HWS.